Well, John, nice to see you. One home game to go. Has it been a long season, or has it gone in a blink of an eye?
Yeah, it's the perception at times, odd, isn't it? You know, we always laugh about when we say we'll have a quick hour. You know, an hour's an hour, isn't it? But your perception at times, sometimes when things are going great, it flies over, as your oldies do when you're having a good oldie. And sometimes it can drag, and when things don't go in your way, it feels as though it's gone on forever. It's like when you want to look with a minute to go, that minute seems to take forever, and when you're getting beat, it goes in a blink. So, but it has been a long season. It's been a draining season with lots of things that have gone wrong, that can go wrong, did go wrong. And I'm proud of the way the players have carried on going and battled through it. And you know, coming off the pitch the other day, you know, a big thing has gone on this season with we've just been so unlucky with some, well, not some, you know, a high proportion of major decisions have gone against us. And speaking to a couple of the players, and they were really down after the game the other day, you know, they're saying, well, you know, we're giving our all, and no matter what we do, we don't get the opportunity to fulfil what they're playing. And so I'm proud of the way they've battled through it, because it has been tough for them. And they keep going, they never let their heads up. We've had one or two games where we've let ourselves down, i.e. the Burton away. But in the main, you know, I think the fans appreciate how hard they work, how much they try, and hopefully luck will go our way next season.
I know you've got standards. I know you hate the little Accrington scenario. When you look at the stature of some of League One this year, has it been the toughest?
In terms of the teams that are in the league, the clubs, possibly. But I felt as though we probably have played as well as what we have in League One this season. Last season we had a good chance because of the crowds not being there. But this season I think we've turned in some smashing performances. Most notably the other day, I thought we were very good the other day. And we've just got to build on that and forget the stature of our club and the stature of other clubs. It's 11v11 on Saturday, and our lads are always up for that challenge, all in the mania. And our fans are as well. And you know, we've been to a couple of 20,000 attendances this season with a small band of ours, well, I say a small band, but in terms of what they're competing against, and they outsing them. And you can hear our fans at every game, so fair play to them for that. And hopefully we'll sign off with something to make them happy about themselves.
Have you reached that horrible stage now where you've probably made a lot of decisions on the futures of a lot of your players, but it's now reaching the point where you've got to tell them?
Yeah, it's not good, but that's part of your job, and it's not always sunshine and roses. And sometimes you've got to be cruel to be kind, because sometimes you're holding players back by keeping them at the club and not playing them. And so, you know, we'll sit down with them and try and see what's the best way to go.
How much surgery, change do you see, John?
Well, I've not got many players who are out of contact, so it is, a lot of it's in my own hands, which is good, and it's not really been like that over the years here. So things are getting better than that, and that's good. And you're always trying to improve what you've got, and you know, there's certain areas that I think we need to improve.
Is that the biggest change from managing this club for as long as you have, that you're reaching the end of a season now and you know who's here next season, who is contracted to be here?
Well, yeah, who's contracted to be here, but you know, we'll still always be a selling club, and I wouldn't want that any other way. You know, that's why I get players, and you can work with them, but you get players who will give you the draw, and hopefully you can reward them by letting them go on to bigger and better things financially as well.
So do you expect people to be very interested in some of your players?
Well, I've watched our players every week, haven't I? So I know the better ones, and I know the ones who play consistently well every week. And I know that if I was managing a championship club, there'd be a couple of my players that I'd be kicking the door down to get.
It's not rocket science. If you're picking them every week, they've got to be doing something right, haven't they?
Well, yeah, but you know, I watch all the other players in League One, and in their positions, we've got two of the best players in League One.
In terms of what you've got going forward and how many you want next season? Is the loan market going to be something that you're going to have to look at?
Well, you've got to use it, to be to your advantage. You can't be your enemy, and sometimes you can go overboard and think the only players we can get. I'm pleased that we got, we've got Rosale Longello and we got J. Rich Baglow, which normally would be loans. We got them both on permanence, and so we can work with them and we can develop them. And I think they've got two bright futures ahead of them, and that's just an aim too. So that's the way we've got to go. We've got to try and get our own players.
How hard is it to find players?
It's very, very difficult now because every team going down to the conference have got recruitments. I wouldn't say specialists, but they've got recruitment teams. So they're all working and they've got they're casting the net the same net that I normally just pick out. I was in a situation where I could cherry pick the better ones from the lower leagues. Now everyone's competing for them, so it makes it difficult. But that's a challenge that I've got to rise to, and I'm looking forward to it. And what we can promise them is that they can come here and leave a better player. A great proportion of them do. And it's a good opportunity to play in the Football League. And if you're good enough, you'll play.
Do you still relish that, to try and unearth another gem that you have over the years?
I do, and sometimes it gets really frustrating in the windows when you're drawing blank after blank after blank, or you've agreed to sign a player, and then the next day he's down the road signing for somebody else for next 100 quid. But I've managed to change my attitude to that and don't let it bother me. And I just shrug my shoulders and move on. Because I know if someone's not signing for us to sign for another team in our league or in the league below, they're making a mistake. Quite a few of them have come back to me in the past and said, and I admitted that they made a mistake. Your
ground has changed beyond belief really in the last 18 months or so, John. Is your routine different now on home games? Does it have a different feel arriving to your place of work on a match day these days?
Well, no, because we're still in the same office. It might be next year when the office has changed, but no, it's just a better place to come. And the big thing about that is the pitch. And best one in the world. Everyone likes to get changed in nice changing rooms and have a nice place to go after the game or before the game. But at the end of the day, you do your work on the pitch, and as long as you've got a good pitch, I get changed in a tent.
Can I ask you about your opponents this weekend? They made the playoff final last season, didn't they? It's not been quite as plain sailing.
Yeah, people just think that you can just keep doing it, and they've had a lot of bad luck through injuries. Very, very good sides when they get it right. I've watched them quite a few times this season. Struggled at home, which is unusual for Lincoln. And sometimes you just can't put your finger on it, and you maybe just got to write it off as just a year that things didn't go right for them, and then start again next season. They're still a big club who can attract big players and can pay the wages to attract big players, so I wouldn't be discounting them for next year.
That used to happen a lot more, didn't it? You could almost write the season off in maybe the 80s, early 90s and say we'll come back again stronger next season. The expectation of everybody around football now doesn't allow it, does it?
You can't do that. And if you quickly write seasons off too early, you end up going down. This has been probably, I think this will be the most points you'll have needed to make the playoffs in League One. And probably the least points you'll need to stay up. So it's been quite a strange season this season. But then you go, you're already looking for next season, and you know it's going to be a struggle. Not just for us, there's probably 14 teams who believe they can go up, and probably about 15 teams who fear they can go down. Sometimes playing with fear is a good thing.
I'll just ask you about the League One bottom of the table picture. We've sat together in the playoffs watching Morecambe in the end win promotion last season. They've put themselves in a good position. We've got two teams in Lancashire, Fleetwood Town and Morecambe, battling to stay up. What will their managers be going through right now with a couple of games to go? Well,
I've been in that situation in League Two. And we had 2 games to go, and then we had to play Macclesfield and MK Dons, who were away the last game of the season, which they were fighting for the league. So that was going to be an unlikely win. So it was all winner takes all against the Macclesfield game, and we managed to win that. And it's difficult because as much as you don't want to talk about it, people say, don't. When people are pushing for the title or pushing for promotion, don't mention the P words. You've got to mention it. That's got to be your focus. Everything's got to be focused around keep your eye on the prize and achieve the goal. So if I was in their position, I would be talking about the fear of relegations and saying that's the prize. The prize is going to be League One football. So if you think about Morecambe last year and going to Wembley and winning the playoffs, their prize was League One football. And that was a wonderful occasion for them, and rightly so. So their next 2 games, it's the same prize. It's just how you get there is differently, but it's still an exciting time and it's still a massive prize if you're winning. So that's what they should be focusing on, that it's a prize rather than achieving safety. It's got to be achieving League One status. So it's a positive thing that you've got to look forward to trying to win a game and treat it like it's a playoff fan.
What's the bigger achievement, John? Getting promoted or
Staying
in that division, with Morecambe's budget stature?
Well, I've got a bigger budget than us. Staying up's a bigger achievement, I think, with what's in this league. And it'll get harder and harder as it gets harder and harder for us. But they've got good people there, and I really hope, and we're forgetting Fleetwood as well, because they deserve to stay up as well. And that's only because I'm getting my Lancashire head on now. But you want to see the local teams prosper, and you want to be playing them derby games. And it's going to be a fight, and hopefully we can give them some help at the last game of the season.
Fleetwood Wimbledon is arguably the biggest game in the country on Saturday afternoon, isn't it?
I think it is. And if Fleetwood don't win, I think we'll have an army of Fleetwood fans supporting us when we play Wimbledon on the final day of the season. But football's a funny game. When you think things are going right, it can slap you in the face, and when you think things are going wrong, you pick up a win from nowhere. You only go and look at Everton in the Premier League. The 97-minute goal against Newcastle, 92nd one yesterday, to give them an extra 3 points that they wouldn't have had, which makes a big difference. And you're always fighting for the prize, and as much as you don't like to admit it, it gets the juices flowing when there's something at stake. So the 2 games Morecambe are playing, Fleetwood are playing, Wimbledon are playing. Your stomach will be revolving going into the build-up to them games, and sometimes it's good in football.
Just finally on your team, I know you got a suspension from Monday. Are there injuries from that game or
I forgot about that, as well. I forgot about the suspension. Unfortunate, really, because I feel for Jose, because he played really well during the night, edge of the day, and his opportunity to stake a place for next season, and we missed the first game of next season as well, which is tough. But other players get the opportunities, and we've got 1 or 2 bumps and bruises, and I think the season can't end quick enough for some of them. I mean, Michael Nottingham's been like the walking wounded for about 3 months now. How he's got through every game, I don't know. And it'll be good to give him a blow at the end of the season. But we've got other options, and hopefully we can get 1 or 2 of the younger lads on the pitch.
Are you looking forward to a break?
Yeah, but I don't really get much of a break, because as the season ends, the recruitment starts.